I practiced this week too. Yeah, it is a good show.
Yeah,
That's right.
She's right. Otherworldlyculture.com.
Nothing.com.
Yes, nothing to say. Wow.
Oh, here. I was waiting
An
for
umpire and a vampire square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies, the 1986 Night of the Creeps and the 1981 Victory, starring Sylvester Stallone, Michael Caine, Jason Lively, Tom Atkins, Jill Whitlow, and soccer legend Pele. Now two guys who start all interactions with others with Thrill Me, Tim Crutchman and Jeff Miller.
Thrill me, Jeff. Thrill me. Thrill me.
You know how many times he says that in the movie?
Like 5 times. Something
You
like that.
suck. Yes, he does. Hey, anyways, one other thing. When I said Lively, is that? Hold on. Wait a second.
Yeah.
That guy's name, Chris Lively? Was that right, or is it Lively? The guy who's in Night of the Creeps.
I'll ask him the next time he comes over.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, maybe you know how to pronounce. I don't know, because then I was thinking about Blake Lively. You know who that is?
Yeah, I know who that is.
I'm wondering if that's any relation.
Wait, there's a movie that she's in that
Yep.
I want to.
That shark movie, I've seen it.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Kind of boring,
But
but
most of the movies I give you are good.
So,
anyways, start.
I'm Jeff. I'm the ump. I review horror movies because I just have no time for them. And and you want to get an honest opinion of what a horror movie is like, you're going to listen to what I have to say. Tim, well,
he's the greatest person ever.
He's the vamp.
And he's the vamp.
Yeah.
I've been dead now some 300 years.
Okay.
And I get stinky, terrible sports movies that I am forced to watch.
Oh, right. Whatever. They're all good.
You know what Jeff is best known for, folks? He invented a new type of pitching machine that throws wrenches instead of balls. It's called the Patches O'Houlihan pitching machine.
Very good. Very good.
That's what he did. You don't think I pay attention to your movies, despite them being terrible.
They're awesome.
No, they're not.
Anyways.
This week's movies.
Oh, we're already into that. Okay. That was a kind of a lousy introduction compared to the last few weeks.
That's because I let you do it. And the sports movie is Victory from 1981.
V for victory.
I told you about sharp objects.
But do you see their arms? V for
Oh, yeah. It's so
for
subtle.
victory.
I missed it. It's subtle.
And that kind of sucks. That kind of stinks. I'll tell you more later.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into it. And Night of the Creeps. What was it, 85, 84, something
86.
like that? 86?
You don't even,
oh, my God.
You send me these movies, you don't even be doing research. 86.
I don't do any research at all. I am
86.
totally going
The year
to
I graduated.
lose the trivia. That's right, because I was 87. Drugs are fun, sex is heaven. That's the spirit of 87.
Was that your motto?
Yes, and I'm still embarrassed by it. Yeah.
Wow, I don't even think we had one for 86.
No, they didn't have one for you.
Why did you guys even? That's kind of.
I don't know where that came from. Probably Jay Kraft. It was not good because he was constantly on the hooch and everything. Okay.
All right.
So let's get things started, eh?
So they gave us the pronunciation of lively.
Okay. And what is it?
Lively.
I think you got that wrong.
It's Ellen Pearl. I don't even know who this is. They gave us. Who's Ellen Raposo?
Elsno Rapido. Elsno Rapido.
Oh, my God.
You don't know anything tonight.
I don't.
My goodness.
I'm off.
Hey, everybody. I'm the ump.
No, you're not. You're the vamp.
I'm all screwed up. Let's start over.
I think you're all hopped up on
I'm all hopped up
on the Batman pizza.
We had the Batman calzone. It is about the most perfect thing ever I've ever seen. Man. And highly nutritious, everybody. All you kids out there going, I want to eat something nutritious, Daddy and Mommy. You get them the old Batman calzone.
I want to eat like Tim and Jeff.
That's right. A lot of people say that every week. Do you like the shirt?
I do. I noticed it right away.
This is from when I used to play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I used to play. Do you know what I used to play? Pele Championship Soccer.
So funny.
Yes, in fact, for those of you with your Atari 2600,
Oh, it was an Atari
it's
game?
game variation 52 on B difficulty. I owned Pele. My brother owned me, but I owned Pele.
Okay.
All right, so what is this movie about? First of all, it's got two different names. There's Escape to Victory, or Victory. On the print we had, it said Victory.
Correct.
Now, I'm going to start by just take a look at the poster. I want you to look at this thing. I have a nomination for the worst poster I've ever seen in my life.
Agreed.
This is
Might be for different reasons.
Bad. I don't understand, first of all, why the point of emphasis is a swastika at the top of the thing. Well, the V is not subtle in any way. Pele, yes, important, great soccer player. How much screen time does he have?
Not much, and that's something else I want to talk about. Yeah,
I mean, it's just the ugliest thing I have ever seen in a movie poster. So
the reason why I don't like it, is because Victor, you got V, you know they're gonna win. I mean, that's in a way that they're gonna win. In a way,
I agree. I agree.
In a way, you know how this is gonna end.
I'm gonna get into that.
Okay,
too.
Me too. I will.
So here we go. Allied POWs take on the German national team in Paris, competing with the concept of a soccer game. Is the escape committee. Okay, so there's a soccer game going on with the German national team and these Allied POWs, and then there's an escape committee among the POWs,
right?
And they're ticked off about the game because Stallone is supposed to be escaping for them instead of playing soccer.
Now, correct. Let's talk about this escape committee. Did you not just get vibes of Hogan's Heroes when you saw that?
I did, except for without any mirth or fun.
Right, but I highly doubt these guys could sit around all day and talk about this and have that. Can. I don't know.
They're British. They're not going to work.
But
wait, is anybody keeping track of all the terrible things I'm saying?
Nah.
Somebody should keep track. But do you know how they actually did get some escapes done?
No,
There's a board game, Monopoly. They would, I'm not making this up.
Okay.
I'm not making this up.
All right.
They have Monopoly boards that were made a little extra thick, and they would give them, apparently the Red Cross or something.
Okay.
Would give these out to the Germans, and the Germans would pass it on to the POWs. And there was like razor blades and stuff in there to help them. A compass and just stuff to help them escape.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't know
that right there. Better movie concept than what we're doing right now.
Okay.
So the thing that's kind of interesting between having an escape committee and a soccer game with war, they're treating war as a game throughout. Mm-hmm. That's weird because war, unlike soccer, things happen and there's action. Soccer, a bunch of people stand around on a sheet of grass and kick around a ball. Now, there were a lot of scenes of soccer training in this. So I'm thinking the Europeans would watch this movie and they get like a hard on. I mean, they would just get excited.
Yeah.
I almost died. I went comatose not once but twice during the film. It took me 3 nights to watch the whole movie.
It did not.
It did. I started it on Monday. I got bored, stopped it because I wanted to stay awake. I came back Tuesday after I went to that place that I go to.
Innovative Health and Fitness.
Yeah, I did 26 laps I swam.
That's awesome.
26.
Because 36.
No,
is,
36. Laps.
You know what? You read the sign. You read the sign.
I did 36 metric laps.
Very good.
That I swam.
Good.
Do you know what a metric lap is?
No.
You double it and you add 30.
Okay.
That's how many
So,
laps.
double it.
Your
and
buddy
add 30.
Tim, yeah.
So
Your
three.
buddy Tim, yeah.
6. 3 laps. Nice job.
There you go. 3 laps. Anyway, this was
You're talking about how boring it was.
Oh my God. This was near the end of John Huston's career. In fact, I wouldn't have been surprised to hear that he was already dead before this movie shot. He admits to have they did it for a paycheck. Stallone wouldn't be bothered between setups and things because he was back in his office writing Rocky 3 during the filming, which for my mind is actually the best Rocky. I like it even more than 4. Though 4 is probably the most iconic. I like the movie Rocky 3 the most. And Stallone was making Nighthawks right about the same time, which is probably my second favorite Stallone movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's second only to Tango and Cash.
There you go, baby.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But I love Nighthawks. I think that's a great movie. Now, there were a number of real players in here. Of course, we reference Pele, who is probably the most famous soccer player ever. Maybe Beckham might be up there.
Maybe Beckham now for this.
Yeah.
But Pele started it all.
Yeah, he's basically the
The
Babe Ruth.
Yes, the Babe Ruth, the face,
soccer.
The face of soccer.
Yeah, and he's in this.
I like Babe
surprisingly
Ruth,
little. He's in it surprisingly little. Oh, hi Tracy. But this is really dull.
See
this
you.
You don't have to.
Capital T.
You could do that silently.
That's small.
If you tried,
Capital
you really could. But I don't think so.
There we go.
All right. Anyway, there were some trick shots that were actually interesting to see.
Yep.
Pele does his bicycle kick. And this other dude from Argentina, he did this thing where he kicked the ball over his head from behind and then kicked. That was pretty cool. I didn't need to spend 2 hours to see those 2 snips. Okay? It was like watching someone else's Super 8 video of their kids playing soccer. I was sitting there and I wanted to excuse myself and go get some dental work performed. As I was watching this, I was just praying an angry little Haunchy would launch himself at myself. And out of the darkness, he would just launch out and slowly peel off my skin while pouring bleach over my wounds and gouging my eyes out with broken toothpicks. What? That would have been less painful than watching this atrocious monstrosity of a film. It was boring. And then, okay, I'm going to spoil the end of this movie.
What?
It's
Wait.
100 years
Wait.
Old. No? You don't want me to?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
How are you gonna
You're gonna get right on this.
Well,
too.
I have a few things to say.
The name of the movie is Victory, right?
Yep. I have a few
name of the movie is Victory. They tie. They effing tie. They do not win. They tie. So don't tell me it's a victory. Yeah, they escape. So what? It's not a victory. You tied. You know what a tie is? I'll tell you what a tie is. That means the game didn't even count. It was nothing.
I agree.
Okay.
But for this ragtag team of players, similar to that in The Longest Yard, this was a victory for them because they're playing the German national team. Just to tie them was a victory for them.
Yeah. You know who says things like that? Losers.
Losers.
That's right. People that come in fourth in figure skating. That's who says that.
Perfect. Perfect. So there's a lot of things that kind of irked me about this movie, and I usually have nothing bad to say about the sports movies, but so
there's a lot to say bad about this movie.
There is because
it's terrible.
Well, first of all, you get Sylvester. Okay, first of all, I didn't like the fact.
Okay, let's get into one other thing. They have a way out. They can escape.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they all decide, I'd like to play a game. You'd like to play a game to a effing tie.
Well, they thought they were going to win.
Second,
they thought they were going to win.
Maybe they're delusional because at that time their asses being handed
Sylvester Stallone is telling them that they are.
Right. Their ass is being handed to them. Handily, by the way, at that point. And this is before even the referees start cheating.
Oh, I got something to say about that, too.
Yeah. But in any event,
you get the hell out of there.
Get the hell out of there. They're going to shoot you. And the real story of this movie, 4 of the people in the team that played the Germans were executed. This was based on an actual game. Mm-hmm. 4 of them were executed. You know what those were? Idiots if they went back. Escape, you dummies.
Well, they played off Sylvester Stallone as the arrogant American. They did that from the beginning, that he was always a jokester and all that. And I didn't like that. I really didn't like the way they played him off in this character. That's why when he's like, hey, let's get out of here, let's leave. Oh, you dumb American. No, we have to play this sport for us.
Okay,
that's why they did it.
No, let's talk about you dumb American.
Okay,
because he's a freaking Canadian. And they keep calling him an American.
I know, I didn't get that.
Because he spoke French. You know what French is, don't you? That's what Canadians speak when they forget how to speak English.
He even says he's Canadian, but that's why I texted you. I'm like, I'm confused. I didn't get that. I mean, he says he's Canadian, but they keep calling him American. I didn't get that.
What? I think it was written for a different actor that was supposed to be Canadian, and then they're like, well, Rocky talks like he's an Italian New Yorker. We're not going to beat that. So they're like, well, we'll rewrite it as we go, and we'll update it to be. And they forgot.
They had to.
That's what I think happened.
It was just dumb.
I'm absolutely being serious. I think they were like, whatever.
They did this.
And John Huston, he's probably sitting there just getting tanked.
Well, you said he did it for a paycheck, right?
He was like 182 when he made
He said he did it for a paycheck. They did this movie in 5 weeks. Think about that, too. They did this whole thing in 5 weeks.
Honestly, I'm surprised it took so long.
So
they have
go ahead.
Listen to me. They got like 3 sets. They got the POW set, okay?
Yeah.
They got whatever football field they were at, and then they had the
French scene,
like rebellion place, and like
that's it.
Okay, so what? You set up the cameras 3 times, and you're done with the movie. Fuck.
Wow, I can only imagine what the rating is going to be, but I want to get a couple more things in here.
Okay.
I was ticked about the fact that they made him look like the dumb American, and they didn't want to follow him down the hole. Right. I would have went. I'm sorry. I would have just see you guys. I'm gone. I'm out of here. As much as I like sports, I would have been like, I'm following. And think about
your choice is getting shot.
I know,
they shoot somebody in the first 3 minutes.
But think about the French guys down in that sewer that did all that work to get you out, and you're not even going to go with them. You're not even going with them. They just gave them the big middle finger. Okay, now, wait. But I want to tell you about Pele.
They are French.
Yes.
They probably haven't worked before, so it's probably okay for them. Did I have any French before that I did? Okay.
So, Pele. Now, I was disappointed because Pele, I'm waiting to see.
Pele's an icon. I wanted to see him in action.
I did too.
And he ran down the field once.
And he got kicked in the ribs, and he was out, and I'm like, you got it.
And he's sitting there like this. He's holding his hand like, oh, this is a cast now. I'm holding my hand like that. I'm like, what the hell? Is he going to start singing the national anthem? What's going on over there?
Yeah, I'm going to pre-bill myself here.
Good.
I couldn't. They had been shitting me that they took him out of the match without scoring a goal. I'm like, how can this be? This is no way this is going on without this. But I never thought they'd bring him back in.
See, I never fell for that.
But I did though. I'm like, why would you do that? Because I thought they were going to escape. Actually, I didn't think they were going to come back out and play. But hold on here. The refs were
holding.
Wait a second. Now hold on. Wait.
You don't say that to me anymore. Red card.
Hold on. Now just wait a second. Now hold on. Wait.
Hold on. Wait. It was no. Hold on for a second. No, wait. Hold on. I am holding.
So back to what I was going to say. Then the refs are so terrible. We know the refs are going to be cheating. They say they're going to be cheating. They're so bad. So why aren't these refs so bad in the second half? They didn't call a single foul in the second half. There was nothing.
They call a foul right at the end.
At the very end. But the first half, it was like every play, the ball.
They were basically beating on each other. It was tackle soccer.
I know, but why wasn't it at the second half then? That's how stupid this movie is.
No, it doesn't make any freaking
sense.
I'm
saying that.
This
it didn't make
was
any sense.
The Longest Yard and The Great Escape. They tried to do both movies. They failed at both. The only thing I can say that's positive about this film is Max von Sydow was excellent.
Now that was
the lead German that
started clapping, and he actually understood what they were doing.
Yeah, he was the one that kind of brokered the game.
Yeah,
he was excellent. But he's always excellent, and it kind of reminds me of some of his other notable contributions.
Are we going into
the film? The horror. You saw I was going there.
I kind of did.
Now, we've talked in the past about Sylvester Stallone because we did Rocky IV. Again, I have not been able to find any horror movie connections, but in the movie Rhinestone, he does sing the song Drinkenstein. Did you see I passed that?
I did. That's lame.
It's so lame.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, no, he really hasn't had any. But Max von Sydow.
He looks like he could be in a horror movie.
Oh yeah. He's been in very good ones actually. He was. This is on the lower end. He was in Needful Things, the Stephen King adaptation. He was okay in that. Then we get to the good stuff. He was in The Exorcist.
I'll never see that.
He came back in Exorcist 2. That's what you think. He was in Ghostbusters 2.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the voice of one of the characters. Because, I mean, you hear his voice and you go, yeah, that's scary. He was also in a horror movie called Strange Brew as Brewmeister Smith.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah.
Actually, here's the movie I'm going to recommend to folks that if they haven't seen it. Citizen X. He's in the movie Citizen X, which is actually a true life horror movie. It's about the most prolific serial killer ever in Russia. And Max von Sydow is kind of like one of the Russian investigators.
Huh.
You will be getting that movie. It's excellent. It's a true story, but it's kind of like watching an episode of Criminal Minds. It isn't real super gory or anything. But it kind of shows you what that investigation was like, and it's nutball. Michael Caine has been in a number of horror movies. He was in The Last Witch Hunter, which is more horrible than horror. He was in Jekyll and Hyde.
Nope.
He played both parts. Can
I ask you something real quick?
Yes, you can.
Hold on. No, wait.
Now, I'm in the middle of something.
I know, but this is relevant at this point. And then if I wait too long...
I know. I'm kidding.
So
I'm messing with
let's just say something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm being honest here. Do you think they get paid double? Like he's playing two parts. Do you think he gets double money?
No.
For playing two characters?
No, he doesn't. He's hoping for an Oscar. That's why these guys take those roles. Yeah.
Okay.
He was in Jack the Ripper, a very good 2-part TV movie that he did that I really enjoyed. And he played the Chief Inspector Evernath or something like that. That was in charge of the investigation and never caught Jack the Ripper. He was in Dress to Kill.
Yep.
He was in The Island. Did you ever see that? With pirates, like inbred pirates.
No.
Oh, God.
Nope.
He was in The Swarm.
Yep.
Which that one I'll probably subject you to at some point when I think I'm way ahead in points.
Yeah.
And he was in one of your favorite movies, Jaws the Revenge.
That's the worst of them.
That's so bad.
Doesn't Jaws follow him to like the Bahamas or something?
Yes. He goes from being a saltwater shark to a freshwater shark.
What do you mean?
Bahamas is freshwater.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah. It's totally freshwater.
No, it's not.
Totally.
He's making that up, people. It's not fresh water.
It's freshwater. Sometimes when I was in the Bahamas, I would just go out there with a cup.
Yeah.
You know, I have a picture of you almost in the Caribbean, almost getting killed by a shark someplace. I have one.
You do.
What do you think I graded this one, Jeff?
Jesus. I'm glad there's not a negative scale, and I don't think you'd go as bad as to go with 0. I'm going to say you're going to give it a 2.
I gave it a little bit more.
All right.
It had effort behind it.
Okay.
It was well lit.
You got to be well lit to watch it.
Yeah. You know, I think that would have. I think almost anything would have helped. In some ways, it's a little pro-Nazi.
Well, yeah.
It is because it's like, oh, those Germans aren't so bad. We'll still stay here and play the game.
That I couldn't. Believe it. Tim,
No,
I couldn't believe that. I was like, no way, man, no.
Just idiotic. And really, okay, what would have been more embarrassing for Germans, losing the soccer game or having the entire team escape and not come back for the second half?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you win either way, guys. Dumb.
They're just, you know what? They're actually just lucky that the fans stormed the field.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't, they're
dead.
They're dead. So it's dumb.
Yeah. Even though it was just an effing tie. Idiotic. Hey, you know what time it is?
I know what time it is.
I love March Madness. Yay!
That's right. It's time for March Madness.
Everybody loves March Madness.
Yeah, it sure is. And here's our latest.
Well, thanks for the merch money. I'm thinking about getting coasters, and I'm thinking about getting tumblers, like Yetis. I don't know, man. I think we got a market going. I don't know.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes.
Open it up, mosquito time.
This is my new favorite one. That is so awesome. Leave that. Can you leave that up, Paula?
No.
Well,
I can't.
that is my new favorite. Nothing's gonna top that. Nothing.
I'm working.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, I know one that might. Maybe they're selling.
Do you know who sells those now?
Who?
At the school?
Who?
Do you know which group?
DECA.
FBLA.
Future Business Leaders of America.
Future Butt Lickers of America.
Not
That's
sure.
right. No?
Look at
No?
why.
Funny bunnies laugh a lot?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm off.
No.
I don't know.
All right.
Oh.
So you're always leaking. Hey, it's only 14 days, everybody.
Till what?
14 days until Horror Realm.
Horror Realm.
And
we were just at Horror Realm.
Jeff is going to drive me, my private driver. He's going to drive me all the way out to Pittsburgh.
And Tim's going to drive me crazy on the way out to Pittsburgh.
Well, okay. His Jeep is about 70 feet off the ground. I mean, yikes. It's scary, kids. But we're going to go out there, and Jeff, you're going to be interviewing somebody live on stage.
I was practicing her name because I forgot. I don't even know.
Christina Kleb.
It's 2 Ks. Christina Kleb.
Yes. And
she'll know my name. I guarantee it. She will. I'm gonna wear one of those tags on my shirt that says "Hello, my name is
Rich." I'm sorry. And I will be interviewing David Naughton of American Werewolf in London.
Oh.
And yeah, you want to put Milk Bones up on the
Wouldn't
stage.
that be cool?
No.
I think put some
No
Milk Bones
way.
up there, or we could
No
hang
way.
like a full moon. I'll go stand in the corner. I'll give him a full moon.
I knew I was going there, and I just couldn't stop it. And I'll be interviewing the cast of Fright Night, including William Ragsdale, Amanda Bierce, Stephen Jeffries, and Jonathan Stark. That's all coming to Horror Realm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
March 4th to the 6th, Crown Plaza.
That's
Come out and join us. It's actually
Yes.
it's a lot of fun. I've never been to one of those before, and I went in November. And for a guy that's not big into horror and all that, it was a great time. I had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun out there, and we loved meeting some of you. And we hope to meet more of you.
And Ted Savini, I'm coming for you.
Ted Savini.
Yep. Ted, Tom,
It is Tom.
Is it Tom?
Yeah.
You know what? I say
But
Ted
you
so
keep
much
saying
that
Ted.
I'm going to get it wrong when I meet him.
You are going to get it wrong.
As long as he gets my name right.
You know, you were pretty upset that he didn't know who you were.
Well, come on.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, Jeff?
What?
Let's talk about a movie that'll make me happier. I don't know about you, but it'll make me happier.
Well, here we go. Night of the Creeps. All right, so Tim.
It's a creepy one, mister.
So Tim sets me up with this movie, Night of the Creeps. I have no idea what this is going to be about, and I don't ever really
Like
like
2 hours.
about an hour and a half.
Yeah, actually, it's a good length.
It's the right length for this kind of movie.
Yeah.
It comes out in 1986, and you can tell by the way the makeup is, the way that everything is that
Tell
it
by
is
the
a
way
19.
I walk. I'm a walking man. I'm a zombie hawk.
It's a 1986 movie. What happens is in the beginning here, and I don't even know what you're saying, but so in the beginning here, you got these little midget Martians walking around in a spaceship.
We call them midget Americans.
Yeah, and they throw this thing into the space, and it comes down to Earth, and it's got some like aliens in it, some slugs. But you don't know that until later on in the movie. But I'm not really ruining anything because this movie's been out for a while.
Yeah, and that's the main conceit.
And Rusty from European Vacation is in this. Right away when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's Rusty. And it turns out that he did this movie after European Vacation. So they must have thought he was so great in that they put him as the lead in this movie.
He was good.
But, yeah, he's okay. But he actually, fun fact, he actually auditioned for the part of the other guy, JC, that had the crutches. But anyways,
Which is short for Jesus Christ.
So back to the movie. So now this thing starts out in 1959, and it's in black and white, and I'm like, oh man, Tim gave me another black and white movie. And I really wasn't looking forward to that.
I should have found one with subtitles too.
Oh my God.
That would have really been awesome.
It was tough enough reading the victory one when the Germans were talking. You probably didn't need to do that because you know German. But anyways. Hey, you know what? Let me ask you something. So when you watch a movie like this Germany movie, that victory movie.
My German isn't that great that I can just...
I didn't know if they were saying real stuff. Now look at that. That's a terrible makeup. That's terrible. That's terrible too.
He's just got acne.
Anyways.
He had chocolate.
So, and then, that was cool because him... What's that guy's name?
Tom Atkins.
Tom Atkins, he's a pretty good, he does a good job in this movie.
Detective Cameron.
Right, but what I didn't realize, so the movie, let's get back to this. So the movie starts out in 1959. There's a couple, like the sorority, it's the same college area, right? And they find out that this maniac has gotten out of the mental hospital, right? So this guy and this girl go up to this makeout point. They're not even making out. It's kind of weird. And all of a sudden a cop pulls up and he's like, hey, whatever. Well, it turns out it's Tom Atkins when he was younger. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that was going to be the same guy.
Now you do?
Well, I figured it out a little while later.
Well, they're not going to have signs and say, by the way, this same dude.
But I thought it'd be easier to figure it out. But anyways, so they see this meteor come out of the sky. Remember I told you about the midget aliens?
Right.
They threw that thing out. It comes down, hits the earth. Well, this guy, instead of making out with his girlfriend, he's like, I'm going to go see what this is. So he goes driving over to go find out what this is in the woods.
As you do.
The best line, one of the best lines, instead of thrill me, is, come on, what was the guy's name what was his name even?
Cameron?
No, the guy that went into the woods. Well, we'll call him Biff. She goes, come on, Biff, we can go back to Makeout Point. I'll even let you play with my boobs. That was awesome. Oh no, fondle. She said,
fondle, yes.
I'll even let you fondle my boobs. Okay.
In her defense, most guys that would have worked on.
Yes, but this guy was determined and he was probably deaf. But anyway, so then the hatchet killer comes by and maybe kills her. I'm not going to tell you what happens, all right? Well, he does. He kills her. And the movie then goes fast forward to 1986, okay? And they're back at that college.
Right.
So, I don't know. So the main character, Jason Lively, who plays Chris, him and his buddy are trying to get into a fraternity and win over this girl, this Cynthia, who's played by Jill Whitlow, which does a really great job in this.
Yeah, she does not have many credits, which is surprising.
It's surprising because she's
really good.
She is really good in this. So they gotta try to get into this fraternity. He thinks that this is gonna win her over, and the prank was to go find a dead body and throw it onto someone's front porch.
Yeah, that's always a good time.
Yeah, and
Remember when I threw the dead body over by your place?
that would have been terrible.
It was
God.
Well, it was a haunchy.
Oh, haunchies. We have to have just a show about haunchies one time.
I know, I'm working.
So anyways, they go into this lab, and that's another thing that blew my mind about this whole movie. So the one scientist guy, he wanted to get into his lab, and he starts typing in this number, right? Like whatever. It's a code on a panel.
Well, when you type in a code on things, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, but why do you not remember? How do you not remember the
what
last
you ought to do
number?
is just get it all redone and have people bring in their own locks.
Touche. Here, I'll just give you a bell for that. No one's going to know what that means, but I'll give you a bell for it. But anyways, yeah.
There's people that'll know.
Yes, Innovative Health and Fitness are getting new locks. Now, this guy right here, he's the one who didn't remember his code on the panel, right?
Correct.
So he leaves it with the last number available, and they just happen, the two fraternity guys just happen to come up and hit the 0, and they go in.
10% chance.
I know, but
people bet on bigger long shots than that all the time.
But how do you not remember the last number in the thing? And he's like,
I would think if the two of us sitting here, you probably would know better. Okay. Because you have people giving you that excuse every. I always use the same number, but
So, anyways, they let out the kid that didn't want to fondle his girlfriend's breast. They take him out of cryotherapy.
Yeah.
And
you got that at the gym too.
You know what? I might as well. It's like I'm telling the whole movie. So what happened is this was a decent horror movie. It was all right. It was good for a 1986, 80s horror movie. This would not stand up today. That's why this is a cult movie. This is a movie that you get up with you get your buddies together, you drink, you play cards, you're shooting the shit. You're just having a good time watching this movie. This is a party movie. This is not a movie where you're going to be like, okay, I want to watch a horror movie. For me,
you're not going to be having a bad night's sleep after this movie.
Well,
it's more of an adventure, fun type of horror.
I don't even think it's an adventure. I think it's just we got an idea. Let's put some makeup on some people and make a horror movie.
Okay, but what other movie do you know
Look at that. That's terrible.
Okay, what other movie do you know has a line like, Raimi, am I going to play Poop Patrol with your nightstick? That is the most awesome. I wrote it down.
And
he answers the phone with Thrill Me. That's what we've been referencing.
He does.
Have you done it yet? Have you picked up the phone and said Thrill Me?
I'll do it tomorrow at work.
Yeah.
The first person that calls me about
it makes you feel great.
About a billing problem, I'll be like, Thrill Me.
Do you know why I picked this movie? Do you know why I gave you this movie?
Because there's probably some tie into something else.
This line. You say you want flamethrowers? You have a flamethrower. You liked flamethrowers from the thing.
I did.
I found a flamethrower movie.
No, I get
it.
I noticed that, but I didn't think of it that way. But Tim, another nice thing about this is that they use a lot of. It was kind of neat because I was picking up on a lot of like B movie lines.
Yes.
It was almost like referencing it, or I don't even know what to say because
your dates are here. I got good news and bad news for you. Your dates are here. The bad news is they're dead. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good line. So I mean, how do our heroes end up in this movie? The hero gets the girl.
Yep.
We maybe get a sequel out of this because at the very end you think I can say this, right?
Huh.
You think all the leeches are dead, but they're not because they're in they're in Ray Cramden's head. And he falls over, and then they go into a graveyard. So you know they're going to get a bunch of brains in there.
Yep.
And then, but the thing of it is, though, so answer me this. Why would Tom Atkins' character, after he killed the axe murderer, right? Because you really have two things going on here. You have an axe murderer zombie coming back.
Right.
Right? And you have the alien thing. You have two fronts. It's almost like World War II. You have someone coming in from the east. You got someone coming in from the west. Okay, so it's kind of like this.
You're missing something though. The aliens are these little slugs are reanimating the dead, which the axe murderer was one of the dead.
Right. But that wasn't.
So it's all the same thing.
No, it's not because the slugs weren't in the dead guy's head.
They were by then.
No, because if
Because
you
they
look
went
at
into
him,
the
he's just a
cemetery.
skeleton head.
Well,
But he wasn't in a cemetery. He was buried underneath that woman's house.
oh, that's right.
And
He
this,
is.
the next thing that I get to. Why would he bury the guy with the axe? Why?
That's a good question.
Why
That's
would you do
valid.
that? That's dumb. He probably wanted to just like get rid of the evidence, but why would you even do it? And why would he be in trouble for killing him? I don't get. There's a lot of holes in that for me.
Well, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
It's kind of fun. It's like I said. It's a party movie. This is
is.
what I would consider a party
It is.
movie.
Yep.
That's a good spot right there where she like flips him off.
Yep.
He
Good
kind of
stuff.
reminded me a little bit of the guy from Twilight,
Yep.
didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Am I missing something here? Because you're awfully quiet this time. You're quiet. Did I not?
No, you're good. You're good. You've already have destroyed 2 of my trivia questions, so I'm trying to think of new trivia.
Yeah,
questions.
there we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. See,
Bastard.
I'm watching these movies even better. So last night is what I did is I actually watched these back to back. So I watched this movie first, and I watched Victory. And maybe because I'm a sports fan, I didn't really find Victory as dull. I didn't find myself having to take 3 days to watch it. I did start my supper
Budget
while
3 days
Huh?
for it. If you're gonna watch that movie, budget 3 days.
I started actually making dinner when I was watching this movie. I did get a little bit, it was a little bit boring.
Really?
There were some boring parts where
I
I'm like,
think it's a well-paced movie, but
it's okay.
yeah, it doesn't have as much action as I remember it having. I'll say that.
I was trying to find out who she was.
Yeah, she's cute.
Because I thought she was in another movie. I thought she was Up the Creek with Tim Matheson, and I was going to use that as my sports horror
Maybe.
connection.
Maybe.
So anyways, I destroyed a couple of your questions. Should I keep talking?
No, I'll think of something.
Okay, so anyways, I'm sure you're curious. Okay,
Let's do the score.
Yeah, the score on this. What do you think you know what I'm going to give it? If you knew her name, I would tell you. I'd give you a 10.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
And her phone number.
no, you know what? It's like I said, it's a party movie. I'd give it a 7.
A 7. Okay. That's where I figured you would be in that range.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to go nuts over it, but I didn't expect you to hate it.
No, I didn't hate it, and
I try not to give you stuff that you're going to hate in the first place.
but I think Tom Atkins was awesome.
I
in this.
think you sometimes try to give me stuff you know I'm going to hate.
I think Tom Atkins was great in this.
He was fantastic. It's his favorite movie.
It's his favorite movie of all time. And then after this, he made a Lethal Weapon, and that's where I remembered him from.
Yep.
When I saw him in here, I'm like, where did I see him from? And he's in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. All right. And before you ruin the next question that I have, we're going to move on.
All right.
You're getting dangerously close to it.
Can't wait.
All righty.
Now the question is, did I ruin the false question or the good one?
You'll find out here in our trivia questions.
Beat the habit, eat more rabbit. What was that from?
No, you eat more domestic rabbit.
Hey,
That's how
did you
usually is.
So in there, was there any sports connections? I couldn't find any. I couldn't think of any from that. I tried checking it out, but I couldn't.
I can't
Yeah.
think of any.
It would have been that blonde if she was in Up the Creek, but she wasn't, which you'll get next season, by the way.
Cool. All right.
Did you ever see that movie?
What?
Up the Creek.
What movie?
Up the Creek.
With Tim Matheson?
Yeah.
Well, how would I know it had Tim Matheson if I didn't
well, then
see
I
it?
don't know if I'm going to give you that then.
You just told me it had Tim Matheson in it earlier. I listened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
You're going to ask.
I'm going to go first.
Why?
Before you ruin any more of my damn questions.
All right.
Okay, so the way this goes, I have 3 statements. I give them to my good buddy Jeff.
Yep.
He will tell me which of them is incorrect.
Okay.
Not true, false.
All right.
Okay. Director and screenwriter Fred Decker of the movie Night of the Creeps wrote for some Godzilla movies prior to making this film.
Okay.
The next one, letter B, the young scientist in the lab that forgets the combination to the lab. You remember him. He's played by David Paymer. He's best known as a comedic actor in movies like City Slickers. He is also a pretty accomplished television director and directed some episodes of Happy Days late in its run.
Okay.
And the third one, the director of this movie, Fred Decker, and Shane Black, the director of Lethal Weapon, are in real life actually friends and sometimes contribute to each other's movies.
Well, this is tough.
Oh, no. I wanted it to be easy.
Director and Fred Decker. Well,
I got
C is going to be
I
correct.
got him.
Director and screenwriter Fred Decker wrote for some Godzilla movies prior to this film. Young side. You know which one? You know which one is false?
What?
Even though you slipped in there that David Painter was in movies like City Slickers, which he was in, I don't believe that he had anything to do with Happy Days late in its run. I think that had been around the same time this was, and I don't think he was doing that at that time. So I'm going to say B is false. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, people.
You got it.
That's what I'm talking about, people.
Yeah, and you're right. He did a lot of television, but it was a little bit later in his career.
That's what I'm talking about, folks.
So good job.
I'm going to make up my points. I
Good
can't even make up
job.
I can make up my points.
Are you effing going to get started? Here we go. Because I know I'm going to get this wrong. I am so tuned out of this movie.
Oh, really, then?
I know it.
All right. So, let's see. Where to start? I don't even remember which one was true and which one was false.
Oh, you watched the movie Victory. You might have forgot it because you probably went comatose and started drooling.
Okay, here we go. John Hudson director John Hudson. All right.
And his name is Houston.
Oh, Houston. All right.
Yeah.
Director John Huston starred with
That's the false one. You didn't have the right name.
Director John Huston starred with Pele in the 1983 movie Minor Miracle.
Okay.
This movie was... Oh, wait. Hold on. I got to change that. Okay. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Now, just wait 1 second. I actually forgot which one was false. Hold on.
All right. Here.
Okay, no, I got it. Okay. All right, let's go. Well,
We'll just put that through again.
what are you doing?
I'm restarting the music
All right, cool.
for you. Give you some time.
Okay, I'm ready.
You know what would go good right about now?
Yeah.
A Batman calzone.
No,
I need another one.
Okay. So that was
I'm
the first
still
question.
hungry.
So director of Victory, John Huston. John Huston. After this movie, starred with Pele in the 1983 movie Minor Miracle.
Okay.
This movie was shot over 5 weeks in Budapest.
Okay.
Pele's last game, he actually played for 2 teams, the Santos Football Club and the New York Cosmos, and scored a goal in the first half for the Santos.
For the Santos?
Yeah.
What were the names of the 2 teams?
The Santos Football Club and the New York Cosmos.
I have no clue.
Which one is false?
I'm going to guess the Pele one is true. I'm going to say the false one is the first one about Houston and Pele being in a movie together. Pele was not in many movies, and there's a good reason. He sucked. He was terrible at acting, so I'm going to say the first one is false.
Okay, so the thing of it is I screwed this up. I gave you all true statements. So...
Really?
Yeah, so just give yourself 5 points. There's no false one in here.
Well, I'll give myself 5 points, but I'm not going to play the correct sound. Because I wasn't correct.
Yeah, but
But you screwed it up.
I did,
Okay.
because I was supposed to add to the end of this was also a minor player in Stallone's 1989 lockup. This is what happens, people, when you write this 10 minutes before you come here. Always prepare ahead of time.
You know what else happens? He writes Hudson instead of Houston.
So, I'm sorry I screwed that one up, Tim.
That's okay. That's
he
points for me.
But he was in a movie with, he starred in the movie with Pele.
I find that completely shocking.
Damn, that would have got you.
You
If I
would have
just
got
had
me.
a false one in
You
there.
absolutely would have had me. But because you fouled up, I am now
crushing
at
me.
49 versus 33.
Oof.
And I know what movies I got in my quiver, but you got some good ones coming too. So,
Man,
but
I'm an idiot.
I suspect your sports movies are going to be very boring. So I don't know how you're going to make up that deficit with all those crappy movies that are about sports.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So what have we got next week? It's Kevin Costner week
Oh, really?
here on Dead on the Bases.
Yeah.
Are you
Yep.
excited?
I'm thrilled.
This is awesome. So the movie that I'm giving you, Jeff.
Oh, you have it written up there, Kevin Costner week.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I
Well,
thought you just.
I planned it before the
I thought
show.
you just said it out loud.
No. Well, the movie I'm giving you is Kevin Costner's
Did I throw you
Mr.
off?
Brooks. Yes, bitch.
See,
Kevin Costner's Mr. Brooks, which is a very fun. It is on the line between is it a horror movie or is it a thriller? I think it's a horror movie, so what I say goes. And you're giving me a Kevin Costner film.
Draft Day. Yes, this is a fantastic movie. I just love this movie. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of kind of like, I don't know, thinking involved, but it's kind of cool because I don't know, it's the Cleveland Browns.
Wait, you like thinking?
I obviously didn't think during my trivia tonight.
No.
It features Kevin Costner as the general manager of the Cleveland Browns. They have a chance to really turn their team around, picking a number one pick, and what prevails is quite amazing.
I've seen this movie before. I'm so excited to revisit it because I don't think I remember anything other than I liked it.
Oh, really?
Because it's very intricate. It's a very intricate movie.
Yep.
And I think Kevin Costner is underrated as an
Okay.
actor. I just do. I think he's a great director, and I think he's actually more well thought of at that. And right now he's got a hit show with
I know.
Gelbstone.
Have you? What?
Gelbstone.
Yellowstone.
Oh, I was saying no, it'd be Gelbstein in German.
Oh, but anyways, have you watched it yet?
No.
I want to see that so bad.
No, and everybody is on my tuchus for
Is that a
not
German
watching
word?
it. Yeah, that's Yiddish.
Yiddish.
Yeah, I know many languages, like this one. It's about time to say adios, everybody.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm watching the clock this week. Are you shocked?
A little bit.
I am too. I think what really irritated me is when you said, well, he played Rusty on European Vacation. I'm like, God damn son of a bitch.
Well, who would know that? Who would know that?
That's why it was my trivia. I'm like, Jeff ain't going to know this.
I know everything. I'm just toying with you now.
Oh, my God. So we want to thank everybody.
No,
And
we
we
don't.
had a pretty... We had a pretty active chat room this week, so we really do want to thank everybody that came out. A few of you have been here since the beginning of the show, which I got to say, that takes stamina.
Yeah. We'll do better next week. Maybe.
I don't think so.
I will get my trivia. My trivia will be down. I'm going to record my trivia and just play a cassette player right here.
Do you even have a cassette player?
I do.
anymore?
I got so many forms of recording devices. I do because I love that stuff.
That's how you spy on me. I was wondering what that was.
That's what I do.
I saw those bugs out there. But we do want to thank
look at
everybody
mice.
that came out. I know Bing Cortana was in there the whole time. And
Andrea Tripp was in there, yeah.
Yep, she's in there. We have Trogdorsk was in there.
What about the Nazi one? What's Nazi? Not Zelly?
Not Zelly. I don't know who that is.
a
Earlier
bot.
we had Elsnor, Rapido. We had Tracy DeLeon, a famous movie director in there. So good stuff this week. See, I was doing that too earlier, and I
know. Why does
the
it move?
camera.
Why does it move?
I think you're doing it.
Yeah.
I suspect it's you.
Yeah.
I'm just
I've got
saying.
a magnet over here.
See, that would explain so much.
I gotta get this chair
everybody.
higher or something because I don't like being sitting down here I'm in. I gotta sit up higher.
Dude. Here, watch this.
There.
Dang.
Why is it like that always?
Because you never adjust it until the show starts.
Oh, this has got to be like this from now on. This is a lot better. Let's redo the show. Let's just redo it. No? Yeah.
I gave my good trivia. No.
I gave crap trivia.
Yeah.
Freaking 5
And
points.
I sneaked through. We're not redoing it at all. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Hope to see you all in Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. It'll be a lot of fun there at Horror Rump. Yeah, you better get your driving face ready.
I have to get my license. My license expired.
Yeah. Good.
No, I do, and I got to get an oil change. I have a lot to do.
Yeah, and I got to get the pole thing all set up and ready to go. So it's time to close the toll road.
Oh yeah.
It's time to close the crypt and call the game.
Just wait. If people want to like see us off, like they see like sports people off, they could like wave to us as we're driving out of town?
What we're suggesting is that people go to Piggly Wiggly at Muskego and wave at us at 4 a.m. when we leave.
We'll honk.
Yeah. Cheepy cheep. Thank you all for watching, and remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and other fine places you find fine podcasts.
Okay.
Keep in mind, if it's sports, it's a home run. If it's horror, run home! We're dead on the bases, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Otherworldly Culture. Woo!
Rusty.com.
Rusty.com.
Yeah. That's how I knew that he was in the movie National Lampoon's European
You
Vacation.
just hang out at Rusty.com?
Yeah.
That's suspect.
It is.
That's suspect.
No, we don't say it like that. We go, it's sus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not hip with the cool kids like you are. Watching curling all day.
This end is so cool.
It's cool because we're done. And I had a big calzone. I got to run.
Oh, really? So you leave me talking to myself here?
Sure.
Is there a post here or no?
Should we? Here.
It's up to you.
There you go.